So Canadian and American Airlines are canceling their physical distancing policy. So they initially had a policy where they left the middle seat empty, and now, beginning, I believe, July 1st, they have ended that. Despite all the science, all the data showing that distancing helps. So the initial report here from CBC, Air Canada, WestJet to drop physical distancing policies as air travel picks up. So for the past few months, Air Canada has blocked the sale of adjacent seats in the economy class, and WestJet has done the same throughout the entire plane to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. The carrier said Friday they will revert to health recommendations from the United Nations Aviation Agency and the International Air Transport Association trade group. American Airlines also announced Friday that it will start booking flights to full capacity starting next Wednesday. Transport Canada listed physical distancing among the key points in preventing the spread of the virus as part of a guide issued to the aviation industry in April. So this is, I have more quotes to get to here, but this is something where not only does the actual separation of people help, as yes, masks are required on these planes, but they're not N95 masks, meaning that you're still, having a mask on doesn't completely protect you. It does does go a long way to actually preventing it or helping you not contract the virus, or helping others not contract it from you either. But you still breathe outside the mask. Your breath still comes, like, unless it's sealed around your mouth, there's still a chance of you getting it. And being away from people means that person is not breathing on you. So, I mean, if you've been on a flight in the past, I guess, 20 years, you know how horrible flying is and how close you are to the people beside you. So having that extra seat in the middle empty does go a long way. And it also has the added benefit of there being less people on the flight, meaning that there is less of a chance of someone on that flight having the virus. But of course, it comes down to them wanting to make, money off these flights and be able to pack them as much as possible. And that's why they've decided to make this move. There's one more quote here, though, that I want to reference here. So here we go. So some health experts have highlighted the risks of spreading COVID-19 in crowded airports and packed cabins. Quote, once it's in the cabin, it's difficult to stop air moving around, said Tim Sly, an epidemiologist and professor emeritus at Ryerson University's School of Public Health. However, Joseph Allen, director of the Harvard Public Health School's Healthy Buildings program, said the HEPA air filters used on most planes effectively control airborne bacteria and viruses. So there appears to be some disagreement here in terms of the ability for the virus to spread around the plane. So, I mean, the point here being that air in the plane is always, it's you could be in the back of the plane, and at some point on that flight, you're likely breathing the air that the person at the front of the plane was breathing. But Joseph Allen does make the point here that they have air filters on planes that I guess are supposed to control airborne bacteria and viruses, meaning that if that's the case, then those empty seats between you and the next person actually do go a long way to preventing you from getting the virus, if it happens to be somewhere on that plane. Now, I also want to show you here thoughts from Nikki Ashton. So NDP MP Nikki Ashton said the same physical distancing rules that apply throughout Canada should also apply on airplanes. Quote, this really speaks to the profit-driven agenda of the airlines, she said. The Canadian government should be doing a lot more than encouraging or shrugging its shoulders. Yeah, so there should be requirements here. And out of any industry or anything that humans do, I mean, flying around the country and potentially flying from outside the country is the absolutely the way that if there is a second wave, it'll likely be because of that, because of having somebody come from outside the country or from a province or a city where the virus is more common. Have that person come in, infect, people at the airport in that city they just arrived in, and more people in that city, and there you go. So this is just, obviously keeping the middle seat empty is not going to absolutely prevent every case from happening, but it is an extra measure that, when added on to the other measures like wearing the masks and just being safe and aware in general, would go to potentially help prevent the spread of the virus. And just read this quickly here. So BC health officials worried about airlines' plans to reduce physical distancing. So a lot of people are worried about this, not just, random critics. And also, CTV News here, this report from July 1st. Passengers on Toronto to Halifax WestJet flight WS 248 may have been exposed to COVID-19. Public health authorities warn. So this is how we're going to keep spreading this. Look, I guess people have to fly. I don't really know why. I know, I guess some jobs require it, but at this point, I don't understand. When we are in a pandemic like this, there has to be other ways to do your business than having to fly around. And apart from that, vacationing or visiting family, it's the kind of thing where, yes, we all want to do that, but wait. If we just wait, and wait as much as possible and are careful, then we will be able to get back to normal life sooner than if we prolong this virus by continuing to expose people through things like flying. So I'm just going to say what I say in every COVID-19 story. Be careful. Be careful. Stay home as much as you can. Physically distance as much as you can. And wear a mask whenever you go out. It's not too much to ask. Wearing a mask is not a huge burden. You can wear a mask. You will protect not only yourself, but other people as well in case you have it and don't have symptoms. So just be careful out there, because otherwise we're going to keep spreading this, and you're seeing the death tolls rise in the U.S. especially, but also around the world. You're not safe, even if you're young. And even if you think you are, or you don't care, think about the people in your life, or even just strangers that you may come in contact with that are older, that are more easily infected and able to get sick and die. Like, just don't just think about yourself. Think about others as well. And if we do that, and if we're careful, then we can help stop the spread as much as possible.